Hi everyone and welcome to Tamit Saleh's Tennis Forum. It's a bit of an early one today, but I wanted to get my reaction and review out as soon as possible. As you may know, Daniil Medvedev has just won the Shanghai Open Masters 1000. It's back-to-back Masters 1000 victories for him. He won Cincinnati, of course, earlier on in the year, and this was his 6th consecutive final and first ever career victory against Alexander Zverev. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, as I do release weekly tennis content as well as additional content like this when I see fit. If you want to check out my last video where I reacted to the fact that Djokovic and Federer were out and asked you guys the question, are the next gen players finally taking over? I'll be putting a link up to that here somewhere and also in the description below. But in this video, I want to just review the final and also ask a very important question to you guys. Is Daniil Medvedev currently the best tennis player in the world? Without further ado, let's roll the intro. So the final, it was the 5th meeting between the pair. Alexander Zverev led the head-to-head 4-0 against Daniil Medvedev. However, it must be said they faced earlier on in their career, so in 2018, 17 and 16, not yet in 2019. This was their first meeting, and of course, as you know, this has been the breakthrough year for Medvedev, where he has really put himself on the tennis map. In the first set, Daniil raced into a 3-love lead. At that point, I thought, wow, this is just going to get wrapped up real soon. Zverev fought back. Now, it was 3-1 in the first set to Medvedev, and it was love 40. So Zverev had 3 break points, and Daniil saved all 3 of them. And at that point, it reminded me of that game against Tsitsipas in the earlier round, where he was in a very similar position, and he managed to save the break. However, Zverev did come through and then held on to his own serve, making it 3-all and nicely poised in the first set. It carried on going on serve, and at 5-4, Zverev was serving to stay in the set. At 30-all, I don't know what happened. Zverev seemed to just choke it away, really. He had not hit a single double fault in the match up until that point, and then at 30-all, he hit back-to-back double faults, 2 in a row, to essentially gift Daniil the first set. I'm not saying Daniil didn't deserve it, but when you take into consideration how 2 double faults gave him that set, it is a bit of a gift. The second set was a far more commanding affair. Medvedev raced to a 5-0 lead, and at that point, Sasha was really in danger of getting bageled. However, he did hold on to his serve, and then Daniil won the second set 6-1, so 6-4, 6-1, and he wins his 2nd Masters 1000 final. Watching the match, I must say, watching Medvedev play, it reminds me so much of Novak Djokovic. It's incredible, and I think this is why he has had his recent successes against Novak. They seem to have very similar styles of play. They get everything back. They make very few mistakes. Medvedev, of course, is 6'6", so he has that extra height advantage, and he's got a better serve due to it. But yeah, it was like playing against a wall. Medvedev was just returning everything. It was really quite spectacular. My favorite shot from him, or rather I feel like his best shot, is the crosshand defensive backhand that he hits. It's like it almost always, as his opponent rushes to the net, he gets such an angle that forces a mistake, and I find that quite spectacular. One thing about Medvedev's style as well is that it's not very flashy, it's not super aggressive, or it's effective. And I feel like that's what has made Novak Djokovic the champion he is. It's very effective, and I can see a lot of similarities in their styles of play. Now I want to focus a little bit more on the question, is Daniil Medvedev currently the best player in the world? Now, I know this may be a bit of a stretch considering the fact that he's not won a Grand Slam yet. However, the rate he's going, all the finals he's making. Right now, if there was a player that I had to pick, as if my life depended on it, I would pick Medvedev. He is just blowing everyone away. It's his 59th win of 2019. It's the most out of anyone. As mentioned many times by everyone, it's his 6th consecutive final. Now, I thought, reaching 6 consecutive finals, amazing achievement. So I thought, let me see how some of the other players got on. And I looked at the big three and how many consecutive finals they reached. So Rafa Nadal reached 9 consecutive finals in that 2013 season. And Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer are actually tied for the most consecutive finals. And it is really a mind-blowing number. 17 consecutive finals for both Djokovic and Federer. I was astounded by that. And I feel like that is one of the records that is almost unbeatable. And it's quite funny how they're both tied on 17 as well. Federer achieved it in the back end of 2005 going into 2006, and Novak Djokovic achieved it in that amazing 2015 season and beginning of 2016. In 2015, Novak reached 15 finals. Every tournament he entered, he reached a final, which is a record as well. And yeah, those 17 by Federer and Djokovic, I don't think Medvedev's gonna come anywhere close to that, to be honest with you. But 6 consecutive finals, it's a starting point. This was his 9th final of 2019, and he's already won 4 titles. That is the Sofia Open in Bulgaria. He won earlier on in the year in February. Then he won, of course, Cincinnati and St. Petersburg, and now Shanghai. One thing I must say is quite unique about him is there's no big celebrations or jumping up and down. He's very calm and collected. Even when he won Cincinnati, which was his first Masters 1000, no real celebration. And even this one, he just gave that little smirk at the end, which I found quite funny. And yeah, it's just like he's even said it himself. He means business. This is what he wants to carry on. Another big thing from this match is that Medvedev is now 3rd in the ATP race. He's still 4th in the rankings. However, as you know, on November the 4th, the race becomes the ranking. And yeah, currently in 2019, Medvedev has accumulated more points than Roger Federer now. I'm going to be looking into that in more focus in my Tennis Tuesday video, where I'm going to break down the rankings, the race, every stipulation and what could happen now until the end of the year. So please do keep an eye out for that video, which will be coming out on Tuesday, so I don't want to focus too much. But Medvedev is 3rd in the ATP race. Going back to the claim that is Medvedev currently the best player in the world, personally, I'm going to have to say yes. Now, you may disagree with me, you may laugh at me, you may bring up the fact that he's not won a Grand Slam yet, but I just feel like, yeah, I mean, like right now, you could say Rafa is number 1 in the race, etc. However, if they were to face in Paris or even in London, personally, I'm going to put Medvedev as favourite. I know he's never beaten Rafa, however, he came very close in the US Open final, and right now, I feel like he's a much better player now than even 2 months ago. So I am very excited by Medvedev. Let's not forget that next-gen players have, done this in the past. Sasha Zverev also won back-to-back Masters 1000 when he first won his first Masters 1000. So we can't get too ahead of ourselves here. We need to calm it down a little bit. However, I am very excited by Medvedev. In my last video, I was asking, are the next gen players finally taking over? I feel like they're making huge strides, and potentially in 2020, I believe we are going to have a new Grand Slam champion. I don't expect the big three or, especially Novak or Rafa to just all of a sudden stop winning slams. I believe they will both add to their tallies. However, I do see the next gen players slowly starting to reach more and more Grand Slam finals and even winning one in 2020. My prediction would be probably the US Open next year. Medvedev beat Sasha Zverev in only 73 minutes today, and he has now racked up 18 consecutive sets. So he is on some blistering form. I'm very excited to see how he goes on from here. There's 2 big tournaments left, of course, Paris and London, so I can't wait to see all unfold. Sasha Zverev, now he's made great strides in Shanghai, accumulating an extra 600 points, and I believe he will also make the ATP World Tour Finals and give himself the opportunity to defend his title. He had a very poor, I felt, season before the Laver Cup. He seems to be rejuvenated, and then now he's doing superbly, let's be honest. I'm going to wrap the video up here, keep it nice and short. I really want you guys to give me your opinions. Now, I must say I am very grateful to each and every one of you that comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I try to respond to as many, if not all of your comments. But the question today will be, is Medvedev currently the best player in the world? I would love to hear your opinions, whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me. I think that's quite an interesting topic as well, so please do share your opinions. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, do hit that subscribe button for future content. Keep an eye out for Tuesday. I'm going to break down the ATP rankings and race for you guys and try and make a bit of sense for that. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much.